welcome. Good morning to those of you who are here live in person, and for those of you who are streaming in, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. This is our SoulCenter Sunday meditation service, where we come together to commune with the divine, and we do so by relaxing. So for those of us here, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and make sure that any cellular electronic devices you may have are either in off or in meditation mode, also known as airplane mode. For those of you at home, you might just want to put your device in do not disturb if you're streaming from it. Otherwise, you can dim the lights, close the door, and prepare to join us as we move into the stillness. As always, our time in meditation is about unifying in a field of infinite beauty. For that is what meditation is. It's letting go of the temporal energies and returning to the beginning, the eternal energies. The internal, eternal is what we're going to rest in. And so I'm going to go ahead and invite you to get comfortable. You're always welcome to do this as an open-eyed meditation for any reason you choose to do so. If you do, you're going to want to find one singular place to focus on. Don't let your eyes wander, because if your eyes wander, your mind will wander. And otherwise, I'm going to invite you to join me in a moment with closing our eyes and just remembering that I'm going to center us. That will just be guiding us into that space where we can let go of the thoughts. And then we'll stay in the stillness for a bit, and then we'll come out in a wave of prayer. So with that being said, the rest will be self-explanatory. I'm going to invite you, if you're going to close your eyes, to go ahead and do so right now, as we are ready to begin. And as always, we begin by giving ourselves permission to relax, rejuvenate, by saying in our minds, I give myself permission to relax and to rejuvenate. We take a moment as we bring our awareness back to the beginning, as we open to the eternal frequencies and energies of creation, back of all life, and the energies of peace and love, beauty and joy, harmony and serenity. We open to these energies and we allow them to rise up from within us and wash over us. We bring our awareness to our breath, the inhalation, the exhalation, and solely through intention, we allow our breath, our breathing, to become richer, fresher, deeper, and wider, all on its own. I invite you to bring your awareness to your chest. And as you inhale, feel the rising of your chest. As you exhale, feel it lowering. No efforting, just an awareness. As we begin to return to the natural circadian rhythm of our own being. Inhaling, noticing the rise of your chest. exhaling, feeling it gently, softly lower. And as we allow our breath to relax and deepen, I invite you to bring your awareness down to your belly, your navel, and just witness the inhalation as your belly expands. And then just feel it relaxing and recessing. As the breath continues to expand and grow, just feel as your lower belly expands on the inhalation and recesses gently on the exhalation. And then letting go. Becoming aware of the life force back of breathing. It is not us who breathes, but is breathed. Life force is gently flowing through our bodies. It does the work. I invite you to become aware of that energy. The same energy that is orbiting the earth and blowing the breeze is breathing our breath. We surrender to its elegance and ease. I invite you to become aware of its light, or its sensations, as though you're sitting beneath a waterfall of angelic golden white light. Snowflakes of energy wafting down over you and through you. And as you inhale, you can feel a soft expansion, as though the light is coming in through your crown and traveling all the way down to the base of your spine. And as you exhale, you can feel the energy expanding. Tingles of light flooding into your arms, shoulders, cheeks, and scalp. On your next inhalation, imagine you are drawing the breath all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. Waves of light and rejuvenation flowing down into the heels and arches of the feet, rising up through the thighs and into the hips as we exhale. The whole body awash as a contagion of luminosity softens and strengthens, revitalizes bones, ligaments, organs, and tissues. The entire physical body going deeper into wellness and vitality. You can feel that energy rippling out into the emotional body as our emotions return to their natural state of compassion, love, and divine strength. And you can feel the energy rippling into the mental body. Waves of light evaporating to do's and what was. Dissolving the future and the past. And the present gives way to the eternal. Your entire auric field, awash, aglow, as every cycle of breathing takes us deeper and higher in luminous energy of weightlessness and light, where we begin to feel the frequency of our soul, the energy of desire, creation, and gratitude. As we release into an abandon of complete awe. All of magnitude and plenitude of goodness. We awaken and feel the inner eye opening, the inner ear attuning, and the higher mind enveloping. Deepening into providence, inspiration, beyond words, beyond thoughts, the wisdom of the soul. You begin to feel the immense magnificence of divinity that is soft and gentle, yet powerful. The very source of creation. One in the mind and heart of God. And it is here that we rest, rejuvenate, and relax in the stillness. Each cycle of breathing taking us deeper and higher. deeper, rising even higher. To allow this eternal energy, the essence of our being, to expand. Feel the phosphorescence, the tingles of light, expanding the physical body, moving into a state of regenerative, rejuvenating expansion, increasing vitality, increasing wellness. You begin to feel, as we acquiesce to the natural rhythms of life, a recalibration, an integration, the angelic energy tingling in the tips of your toes, in your kneecaps and hips, rising up your spine. Freedom, innocence, spaciousness. You can feel that energy as it continues to fortify, amplify, and glorify itself. The emotional body becoming even stronger. The mental body flooding with waves of optimism, igniting a contagion of clarity that brings forward faith and trust in life, in God, the soul, our lives as individualized incarnations of the allness and the wholeness of the divine. Feel the indwelling presence as it rises and continues to integrate and expand, bringing us back to our natural, neutral state of glory. Allow the energy to expand, aligning with desire and gratitude. Thanksgiving, allow yourself to feel, see, hear, know the divine idea of any and every part of your life. It can only be good. For goodness is the nature of life. We take a moment marinating, bathing in deep gratitude, knowing that everywhere we are, infinite brilliance is. The omnipresence of God, of our soul, of goodness. And you begin to feel its omniamorous inclinations. And you can feel the power that effort's not. As we remember, as we recalibrate and return to the great truth of knowing that each and every one of us, formed and fashioned from the eternal light of angelic brilliance, we let it rise and shine. I'm grateful to know that just by relaxing and intending, it is done. We take a moment as we feel the fortification. And on your next breath, as you inhale, I'm going to invite you to find the south pole of your energy field. Usually a meter, maybe 4 or 5 feet beneath the bottoms of your feet. As you inhale, draw the breath all the way down, anchoring it in the fertile soil of the material world that only bears the fruits of harmony, prosperity, wellness, goodness, beauty, and joy. The real reality. Inhale. And as we exhale, we can feel it rising. We take a moment in gratitude, allowing it to continue to grow and glow. Knowing something wonderful is seeking to bless us ceaselessly every moment of every day. We open to that. And it's from a place of absolute confidence, clarity, optimism, and faith that we give permission to only heal, grow, and expand. Benevolently, serendipitously, synergistically, beautifully, harmoniously, without fail, without limit. We let it be. And so it is. Amen. So as we come back into a lucid state of divine awareness, you're welcome to open your eyes. You're welcome to stay in the zone. For those of you here, the lights are going to come up. For those of you at home, and for those of you here, we're going to take a short break. And in about 5 minutes, we will start our service, our music, and our message. So, if you need the restroom, you just go down that hallway, through that door, past the bookstore, which you're welcome to pop in if you want to. And the bathrooms are to the left out the back door. For those of you at home, we will see you back here. We're just going to take that little break in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Good morning, SoulCenter.
Good morning.
Good to see you, everyone. Happy Sunday before Thanksgiving. Wonderful holiday to celebrate. And I personally am so very grateful for this community. So thank you for being here with us this morning, both in person and online. My name is Jessica Suselik, and I'm the co-founder of SoulCenter OC with my mom, Patricia Griffith, our angel in heaven. And with our spiritual director, Reverend Keith Horwitz, we are so thrilled to bring the teachings of Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith and the Agape International Spiritual Center to Orange County. We are an affiliate of Agape, and we are so pleased to be here with you this morning. So let's start, please, with our declaration that will come up on the screen online and on these screens here. Please say it loud, knowing it for each other and each and every person on this planet and the universe and beyond. There is one life, and that life is God. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. I am here to receive the divine message for me. I am awake, I am tapped in, and I am transformed. And we'll have board member Paulette do our announcements.
Thank you. I just want to mention our musical inspiration. Sheila Nichols is with us today. And of course, our SoulCenter musicians, Brian Sherrick and Jesse Godoy. So, first thing is, please silence your cell phones so we don't get interrupted today. First announcement we have is that the SoulCenter retreat is coming up really quickly here. It's in Big Bear, California, Monday through Wednesday, December 9th through 11th. Join Reverend Keith in a large, luxurious cabin in the woods as you rejuvenate in nature and explore your divine nature. In a loving and relaxed atmosphere, we will deepen our unity in spirit with daily meditation, prayer, introspective growth, yoga nidra, fun, and healthy food. You can stay in one of the cabin's 7 private or semi-private rooms, or you can stay off-site and commute each day. Visit SoulCenterOC.com for details and to register. But Rev, is there only like one more room in the cabin now, or?
2 spots in the shared bunk room where there are 4 beds and 2 of them are taken.
Okay, so there you go. This filled up fast, didn't it?
But there are lots of little hotels.
Yeah, right around there. So, yeah. Wednesday meditations. We have our Soul Center weekly meditation gathering. It's held here in person and live streaming at SoulCenterOC.com, 6:45 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Pacific each Wednesday. This is for everyone and anyone. It's just meditation. It's not a service. From master to beginner. Join us as we deepen and expand our meditation practice together. So our holiday schedule, we will have our holiday services here on our regular Sunday schedule, the weeks of Christmas and New Year. Wednesday midweek meditation will remain on schedule through Wednesday, December 18th. We will not have our meditation gathering the weeks of Christmas and New Year's, those Wednesdays. I want to mention that the Enlightened Kids Village will be closed December 29th service for a holiday break. New Year's Eve morning meditation. Be sure to calendar Tuesday, December 31st, New Year's Eve morning, 10 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. Pacific time, to join Reverend Keith here in person or live on Zoom for our annual New Year's meditation. We'll let go of limiting energies and patterns of the past and open to the divine idea of and set the tone for our best 2025. Early registration is open at SoulCenterOC.com. Our bookstore, Almond Garden, here is always open prior to service and after service. Our item of the month is the ethically sourced 100% East African teas. These are grown in organic agriculture by women and with fair trade practices. Not only are these environmentally friendly, but are healthy and very tasty. Visit Almond Garden after service and pick up some gifts for you and everyone else on your not-so-naughty list. Please visit our welcome table or our website to learn about our events and classes, including Reverend Keith's Daily Affirmative Prayer, Tuesdays, A Course in Miracle, our Soul Circles, our weekly newsletter, our Facebook community, Soul Center Monthly Visioning. There's a lot there. There's a lot there, so you can check that all out. Our monthly Munch and Mingle, which is each last Sunday after service, that's today. It will be at North Italia today, and Angelina will meet all of you over there. So if you hopefully have reserved your spot at the welcome table and join for some good food, that is at 2957 Michelson Drive in Irvine, just a few minutes away. We have a couple of committees that we would love to have your help on. One is our building committee, focusing on opening to the divine idea of Soul Center's expansion into our future new building and campus. We're growing, so we need to start thinking about where we want to be, will be, and where we can vision that. And the other one is our anniversary committee, and next Sunday is December 1st, so our anniversary is in January, so we really need some help joining together and planning our anniversary celebrations. So if you would like to be on either committee, please visit our welcome table. Online love streamers, this is a great opportunity to volunteer virtually. Please send an email to info@soulcenteroc.com. And volunteers. Yeah.
The building committee will be meeting after service today. If you're interested in that, we'll be meeting in the lobby right about noon and kind of walking the space that we currently have and talking about next steps. So if we would love for anybody who wants to be on the building committee to join us today.
So the last thing is, and you can see all the beautiful volunteers that work hard to bring this beautiful experience to you every Sunday. Expand your beneficial presence and flourish your goodness by joining our volunteer team. Please contact our volunteer leads, Colleen Lavoie, who you always see out there at the table, and Kathy Luque, who's right over here. So it's now time to join in for our congregational song.
And also, I just want to make a little tiny announcement that on January 17th, immediately after service, we have our first anniversary month event we'd like to announce. It will be a talent show at about 2 o'clock. So for those of you wanting to participate in our talent show, you can start thinking. We've already got Jessie, who's agreed to bring an awesome guitar talent, and we've got Lacey that's going to show us her gaming music that we know she's very famous on YouTube for. So anything you're talented at, it's about a 3-minute or less act, and we'll have sign-up sheets. But the Enlightened Kids Village will be hosting this event, but it's for adults and kids, and it'll be a really fun event. So keep your eye out for more information about that and all of our fun anniversary month activities, all coming soon. So Sheila is going to take it away. Thank you so much, guys.
Some music on this one. I hope you guys know that one.
Wow, thank you guys so much. I'm Lori Banks, and our reading is from 2 excerpts of Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. First reading. It is a cosmic ideal that has been caught and taught by mystic teachers of all ages. Perhaps no one has articulated it better than Plato, who said, "A grateful mind is a great mind which eventually attracts to itself great things." A grateful person is great because he or she has turned on all of the lights inside. You may say of someone, "He has so much and he's so grateful." But Plato's law, it would be, "He has so much because he is so grateful." The grateful heart actually opens the way to the flow and becomes an attractive force to draw to itself great things. Second reading. God is divine givingness of the universe. You are created in the image likeness of this divine givingness. You cannot make sense of life or realize the free flow of substance in your experience until you begin to see yourself as a giver. It may mean a complete turnaround in your approach to life, where you think give instead of get. In your spiritual quest, you are seeking to establish yourself in a unitive relationship with divine flow. You can never really achieve this level of consciousness until giving becomes the main thrust in your life. And when it does, you discover the wonder of giving. You become unblushingly an incurable giver. Let us turn within and pray. I'm so grateful to be in a community whose beliefs honor and embrace all sorts of wisdom. Wisdom from spiritual teachers, from philosophers, and from science. And it's because of these teachings that it helps me make sense of life. I'm so grateful that in our community, we are grateful every moment, every day. And that just makes the gratefulness and the special holidays even more extra, expanded. I'm so grateful for the divine flow. I'm grateful for the peace that comes when information lands as knowingness and truth. I choose to call that peace God. I choose to call that peace love consciousness. And that consciousness is common across religions and schools of thought. I call that oneness. And we are all one. I am one with God, you're one with God, we are all one with God. And because of this oneness, it makes it easy to give. Kindness makes sense. It makes sense because giving creates the divine flow. And it's from this magical divine flow that I bless our day. I bless Reverend Keith. I bless Jerome. I bless Almond Garden. I bless the board and the band and our special guest, Sheila Nichols. I bless the kids and our congregants, the volunteers and the love streamers. I bless our prayer team and our tech team. I bless our founders and our future. And I release this prayer knowing that from this divine flow, our heart's desires are birthing and coming to us, and we receive them with gratitude. And so it is. All right. It's time for our agape affirmation. Please stand. You will find them in your program and coming up on the live streams and on the screen. I'll speak a line, and then we'll all repeat them aloud together with sincerity and acceptance. I am resolute in the absolute presence of God as my life. I give thanks.
I am resolute in the absolute presence of God as my life. I give thanks.
Divine solutions to any challenge are already within me, and I am thankful.
Divine solutions to any challenge are already within me. I am thankful.
All my points of view shine the light of wisdom through joy. I am grateful.
All my points of view shine the light of wisdom through joy. I am grateful.
The impulse that governs creation propels the vision of my life. I am appreciative.
The impulse that governs creation propels the vision of my life. I am appreciative.
Prosperity, health, and joy are my natural state of being, and I am delighted.
Prosperity, health, and joy are my natural state of being. I am delighted.
My life is a song of praise and thanksgiving.
My life is a song of praise and thanksgiving.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
For those of you who'd like to experience private individual prayer today, please come up here to the front by the gong after service, and you'll be directed to a Agape licensed spiritual practitioner or a licensed SoulCenter prayer chaplain who will pray on your behalf in a safe and confidential atmosphere. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. It's great to see you guys again. I just wanted to give like a brief moment here for this song, because I feel like when I come down here I play the same thing, so I thought, well, what else do I have? And I was just looking through things, and I came across this song that me and Dave Stringer wrote about 2 years ago. And the reason I wanted to sing it was, first of all, it was really fun to sing, but I'm just thinking into the theme this morning in the prayer and Thanksgiving, and you know, the last few weeks have been pretty tumultuous, and I think that the way that we move through tumultuous times is to remind ourselves of perspective, of who we really, really are. And me and Dave found this ancient sutra that basically said something that Reverend Michael says a lot, which is that form follows consciousness, or that consciousness is primary. And of course, you know, there's this huge debate going on around what consciousness is right now. And so what's amazing is this ancient wisdom is something that we're still really trying to grasp in our modern Western culture. But I also know that this perspective has really gotten me through so much, because it allows you to create that gratitude. It allows you to move away from the smallness of the everyday when you have the perspective. And so I'm going to sing this song because it kind of gives us that. And Jesse's going to sing today, right, Jesse? Feeling good about singing today? And also this is repeated from three different places. I am, you are, and we are. So once you catch it, you can sing Jesse's part, because it's kind of an affirmation, all right? So feel free to join in if you want to. No pressure. All right, go ahead.
I know anything, who am I?
And also on keys, we have our wonderful Brian Sherrick. And of course, a little birdie told me that tomorrow is Jesse's birthday. So, happy birthday to our beloved Jesse and our amazing band. And speaking of events, just a shout out to Reverend Michael and everybody at the Agape for the 38th year anniversary celebration that's taking place there. Happy anniversary, Agape. And happy almost anniversary, SoulCenter. Good morning, good afternoon, love streamers, and those of you live in person. I'm Reverend Keith. This is our SoulCenter Sunday service. We are part of the Agape International Spiritual Center, the New Thought Ageless Wisdom teachings that basically went out and said, ooh, there are mystical truths that have been taught throughout the ages, through the sages, through the prophets of absolute truth, the mystics of the world, and they were able to absolutely personify being in the world but not of the world. They were able to personify mystical experiences of healing that when the truth sets you free, you get to be in this world of a higher dimension. Those are the forefathers and foremothers of our movement. They said, yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to dig in. And that's what we ask of you. We ask that you participate in the conscious evolution of your own life, in your own way. We give the guidelines. We give you some suggestions. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we ask is that we remember that all that God is, I am. All that God has, I have. That's kind of a loaded statement there. But there is an eternal magnificence back of all life. That which we call God, whether we call it Jehovah or Allah or Elohim or Hashem or the Great One or Yahweh or the universe, whatever resonates with you. That which we also is synonymous with life itself. Life is a good. And when we say life, we mean beauty and peace and love and joy beyond our wildest dreams. Bliss is its nature. And we are opening to that. As we were talking about last week, bliss, to follow your bliss, as Joseph Campbell would say, would mean the acronym is to beckon the divine, to listen to that which you've beckoned, to intend that which is being informed upon you, and then to surrender to it and share that. That's what bliss is. And as we cultivate that within our own lives, as we move into this time of Thanksgiving, we're just going to look at the thanks and then the giving as an aspect of life. To move into bliss, to be in the world but not of the world, to participate in your conscious evolution, it kind of helps to have some guidelines. The guidelines to thanks and giving are that as you practice gratitude, as you allow yourself to move into that vibrational field, which is congruent with creation. Creation is in awe of itself. Bliss is the very nature of life itself. The plants are in awe and in bliss with the sunshine, the stars with the planets. Everything is serendipitously and synergistically connected in a unified field of goodness. When we come into the human form and we have this ego that allows us to have an experience, that's what the ego is. The ego is that which allows us to have experiences of hot and cold, of up and down and left and right, of rough or smooth. We get to have those textural experiences. But within that, in order to have that, you have to have free will and free choice. Free will and free choice, you get to choose. I get to believe this or not believe this. 99% of what you believe, you're unaware of. If I asked you to tell me what your belief is about prosperity or wellness, you would probably need to sit down for a while and really do some introspection and find out, what do I believe? Most people don't do that, because they're kind of lost with all the shiny things that are going on in life, and they're paying attention to the trauma body. But if all that I am, if all that God is, I am, and all that God has, I have, ooh, now how about we take a moment and introspect on that? Thanks in gratitude. That is what opens the door. When you move into deep gratitude, and I'm going to qualify it, I'm going to say right gratitude and right giving. There's a superficial way to be grateful, where you just kind of dip your toe in and you're like, oh, thank you, the polite aspects of gratitude, where somebody does something, oh, thank you. And then there's the deep depths of gratitude, where you feel moved, where you're in awe. I'm in awe all the time in this community. This community, I hear people, this morning, that one of the things that is music to my ears is when somebody says, oh, I know that the prayer ministry is holding you in prayer, and I can really feel it. And I remember back in the days when I first entered into this community 20-some years ago, and I remember the first time I asked for prayer. And I came from a background where that's not what we did. We didn't ask for prayer. We didn't ask for help like that and that woo-woo, airy-fairy stuff. And I remember the first time I submitted a prayer request, and then I felt the practitioners and chaplains praying, and I was like, I can feel it. You're being seen and heard and appreciated. There's something that moves within you. But what we're going to ask you to do in our community is don't wait for what most people do, and they treat their lives on a crisis management plan. We're not on the crisis management plan. We're not on the anger management plan. We're not on a management plan of anything. I'll tell you, as I worked on the Agape prayer lines, where we would go into the prayer, and you went into this building and this room, and there was all these phones, and we would answer. Now they do it all remotely. But we'd go in and we'd get calls. 90, I took a poll too, 95, maybe 94% of the calls that come in were crisis calls. I can't make my rent. My mortgage is this. I'm going into the hospital for this. I just was in an accident for that. Blah, blah, blah. So on, and none of that is bad or wrong. Definitely don't think like, oh, I'm saying don't call in a crisis. Call if there's a crisis. But call when it's good. I'm just calling to say, hey, I'm so grateful right now. Gratitude begets more to be grateful for. So right gratitude or right thanks is when you allow yourself to be moved by it. Let yourself be moved. That's where the richness of life is. The richness of life is saying, I really want to experience being in awe of the divine back of all life, which is really being awe with yourself. It's a different kind of ego trip. It's not about like, oh, no, wonderful. It's like, oh, I can really feel the divinity back of all the serendipitous nature of life. It's not just that once in a while I was thinking of somebody and then they called. Ooh, that was kind of mystical. That's the tip of the iceberg. When we move into a place where we're in thanksgiving and highlighting on the thanks, we're saying, yes, I'm choosing to be grateful. To be grateful for so many things. To be grateful, like right now, I'm so grateful for clouds are amazing. We got a little bit of rain and it's just so clean and beautiful and it waters the plants. I'm grateful for friends and family and depth of relationship. And we know that as Sheila was saying, form follows consciousness. As Reverend Michael was saying, as our teachings are saying, forms follows consciousness. So when your consciousness, that's where free will and free choice, because you have within you capital C consciousness. You have the ability to perceive aright. Most of us, we give it up. It's like you're taking on your glasses and then you're smearing Vaseline on it and saying, I'm just going to go through life, I'm just going to try to muddle through. No, we want divine right seeing, divine right hearing, and divine right knowing about everything. If you think you are right about somebody who's wronging you, you're going to have to do a reality check. We got to tune within and find out, what's going on? What am I really looking for? What am I grateful for? I want to be grateful to know every crisis has an opportunity to bring you into magnificence. Yes. Every crisis. And the sooner that you can pivot and go, from the woe is me over to the, oh my goodness, and find I'm going to just seek that which is good in this situation. The sooner you can do that, the sooner you're going to move into magnificence. As a matter of fact, with everything that's going on, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world with regards to politics, with regards to whether you're concerned about global warming, whether you're concerned about the economy, whether you're concerned about your own personal things, there's a goodness back of all life. And the call is always going to be still and know that I am. To remember the truth of what it means to be formed and fashioned in the image and likeness of God. To know that as I am all that God is, and I have all that God has. Like, really open up to the law of plenitude. The universe never withholds. There's a misperception out there that the universe might be like, oh no, I don't think George needs to have that. We're going to keep that away from George. No, sacred holy relate. No, that's not going to happen. That's just your trauma body and getting involved in your affairs. We want to say yes to only the good and seek and find wellness. So right gratitude or right thanks is allowing yourself to call it forward, to beckon it. Is there anybody here that, like, wouldn't you just, I mean, for me, I love feeling in awe when you are so profoundly moved in gratitude. When somebody sees and hears and knows you, and you're like, oh my God, when life itself feels like you matter. We all want to know that we matter. So we're all going to say yes to this. Now, right giving is another aspect of this. Truly, we've all heard the expression, it is better to give than to receive. Now, that supposes that they could be two different things. But there is no separation between giving and receiving. They are just cyclical, and they cycle around. And if you want to expand receiving, then you're going to move into a deeper sense of giving. But right giving is what we're looking for, not just giving. Some people try to manipulate the law of circulation, or manipulate the law of attraction, or even try to manipulate the law of creation. There is no manipulation. You cannot trick the universe. The universe is 100% truth. Your soul is 100% truth, and you can't manipulate it. You align with it. You align with the divine. You remember that you do not create anything. Creation creates. You get to align with creation. I want to make sure that's really understood. A lot of people say, I'm a great manifester. I manifest parking spaces. I manifest great relationships. No, you are aligning with the natural state of being. Healthy, sacred, beautiful, compassionate relationships are the natural way of being. Many of us have been bamboozled to think, oh, I could be betrayed. Oh my God, you got to watch out for those people because da-da-da-da. You are starting to move into the subconscious terrain of the trauma body or erroneous beliefs that maybe you haven't even had that experience. You just heard it from somebody else and said, that's a lousy idea. I think I'll adopt it. No, don't adopt lousy ideas. Be awake. Awake and say, what is the grand ideal and idea that I am choosing to experience? I remember, many, many years ago, it's like maybe 30 years ago, I went to Europe for the first time, and I went to France, and before I went, people were like, oh, the French are rude, they don't like Americans, and don't even try to speak French, because if you do, they're just gonna like, and I was like, no, and I wasn't even practicing, and I was like, no, that's not my experience, and of course, I went with the idea that I'm going to experience the beauty of France, and the beauty of the French culture, and of course, I did not meet one rude person there, and do you know how this idea that the French are rude, don't like Americans started? Somebody went there, had a bad experience, came back and said, oh my God, they're so rude, and then somebody said, I'm going to adopt that lousy idea, and then I'm going to go to France and have a rotten experience. No, not us. We don't adopt lousy ideas. We adopt grand and glorious ideas. We're going to say, oh my God, wherever I go, people are kind and courteous and loving because that's what I'm circulating. So to move into right giving means that I'm going to participate in circulation, and I bring myself, so this is where sometimes people try to manipulate things. We know that there are laws in circulation where, for example, tithing is linked into the law of circulation. It means I'm investing in the divine. I'm investing in my soul. I'm investing in spirituality. It's the best investment you'll ever make. It gives bigger dividends than the highest stock market ever. Because what the dividends are is not only is it prosperity, but it's happiness and wellness and goodness. Does the stock market guarantee you that you're going to have wellness and goodness and sacred holy relationships? I'm not so sure about that. Somebody might look at your portfolio portfolio and say, well, I might be interested in you now because your portfolio has risen, but is that going to guarantee anything? What will guarantee you something is if you allow yourself to surrender to the holy idea of circulation, which just expands. The sacred spiral is the symbol of circulation, which continues to expand. And so in right giving, I'm not playing, and it's like, okay, in the beginning stages, you might do things like play with it. Play and pray work on the same vibrational frequency. So you might want to play with it. Like, let's say I've met a lot of people. I was one of these people many years ago who are like, well, I've got barely $1 to rub between 2 nickels in my account, you know. Oh my God, my account only has this much in it, so I don't know if I can share any of that. It's like, whatever of that, if you say, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to invest in the spiritual magnificence of life. And I'm going to take, you know, whatever it is, if it's $1, $5, $10, and I'm going to start to play with it. It says right there on the money, in God we trust. So we might as well start to see, do we really trust in circulation? Do we really trust in the laws that govern prosperity? And then the giving nature. So as we give, right giving means I'm going to bring it in from the right perspective. I'm going to come in and I'm knowing that I'm evolving my human consciousness into a state where I know that God is all loving and all giving all the time and never withholds. What would that look like, feel like? What would it know like within me? And so in the very beginning stages, I remember I was like, oh God, I don't know about this whole tithing thing, because it's like, you know, that's just a way to suck me from giving up my money to the band or whatever it is. And it was like, and then I started to say, you know what? I'm going to disregard, because I had heard that from some people somewhere picking up on a lousy idea. And I thought, you know what, no, let me find out for me how this all works. And I started to play with it, playing with it by, you know, the one thing you want to make sure you don't do for right giving is don't have rules. Many people have rules to how they give. I do give to this and I don't give to that. Oh, I never give to homeless people because they're going to use it for drugs and alcohol, and I don't do this and I don't do that, and you got to get a whole rule structure. That surpasses your divine intuitive abilities. To be present is to be able to say, on any given occasion, I'm going to let it be new. Years ago, when I first started my practice, I was working with clients, and I was going through my issues of prosperity, and all of a sudden I started to wake up, because when I was going through the issues of prosperity, and people would ask me, like, oh, how much do you charge? And I went, I didn't want to say anything, because I thought if I told them, they'd say, that's too much, and then you're not worth it, and they'd bail. Or, you know, whatever was in myself. And I said, I'm going to start working on that. I'm going to cultivate that. I'm going to move into a state of worthiness. I'm going to move into a state of divine receptivity. I'm going to allow it to be good. And then I started to dismantle my rules. Some people have rules, cancellation policies. Oh, if you cancel within whatever, then boom, you know, the gauntlet goes down. They have all kinds of rules, and I get why those rules come into being. They come into being because you had a bad experience, and now you're letting that bad experience rule your life. You didn't take the experience and bring it into the spiritual laboratory and say, let me see, I had this bad experience. What's my intention going to be that transmutes this bad experience? And then when you redefine your own cosmology, you transmute the experience, and you don't have to worry about setting up these policies. I haven't had a cancellation policy ever. Everything always works out. I book people all the time. I have clients all week long, and I never have a problem. Anybody who ever calls at the last minute, which happens maybe 1% of the time, and it's like, you know what? It's perfect. I needed that time. And you got to go do whatever it is you needed to do. Now, I'm not saying giving you an invitation to book sessions again. But I'm clear on the way it works with me. I know within my bones that it always works out. And so as you start to lift from, and again, you can use the policy as a placeholder for a while, but don't neglect to come in and be like, oh, when somebody canceled on me, it felt like I was unimportant. That they, you know, if anybody ever deals with clients and a client cancels on you, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, like, sometimes you're like, oh, that's because they got a better gig or something, whatever, they're doing something else. Whether it's because you're a banker or a decorator or whatever it may be, how did it feel to you? there's your opportunity for spiritual growth to go, okay. And then you start to set an intention and move into a vibratory field that lifts you and removes you by transmutation into the evaporation of that pattern. That's what we're moving into. We're moving into a place where, we are transcendors, transcendent beings, where we go, okay, if you have a fear of something, you're going to transcend the fear. You're not going to just you're not going to manage it and let it rule your life. Some things heal like that. Some things take a while to heal. But you don't take your eye off the prize. Eye on the prize in the spiritual realm is what we say yes to. So, right giving means, as I move into circulation, I'm going to play with it. If you're spending more money on some coffee per week than you are on your spiritual investment, you might want to just take a look at that. And I don't want to, you should have your coffee and drink it too, which means lift your consciousness that you have enough to invest in spirituality and have your latte or whatever it is. You want to make sure that you are participating. Energy follows intention. And if I am not giving, then there's something within me that is saying like, oh, I can't give because there's finite, limited resources. And so why am I carrying something around about finite, limited resources when the law says that God is all giving all the time, never withholding? As we come back to the prayer versus the unanswered prayer, the answered prayer versus the unanswered prayer, there's no such thing as an unanswered prayer. Every prayer is answered in direct correlation to its prayer. As you pray something, if part of me is a house divided and I'm praying for prosperity, but I don't think I'm worthy of it, whichever one has more power in your own cosmology is what will be delivered. So you're going to get the answer to the prayer exactly as you put it out there. That's where becoming self-aware in your own consciousness and being like, I want to know what it's like to know that the universe is all giving all the time through me. My soul is all giving all the time. If you had no issues whatsoever, you had no self-esteem issues, if you had no fears of anything, no fears of poisonous snakes, no fears of rats, no fears of spiders, no fears of heights, if you had no fears, no situations with relationships, all your relationships were just filled with like, oh my God, I love you, I can't wait to see you, where you just see the best and cultivate the best in everyone. Your finances are just like, I participate in circulation all the time and it just grows and grows and grows. I have to bat it away. If you have no issues whatsoever, your body temple is radiant with rejuvenating, regenerative wellness. If you have no issues, all you're going to do is serve others, and you're going to participate in creation. You're going to circulate all the time. You would never count your pennies. You'd always just be like, not in an airy-fairy, like, and there's the point I want to circle back to in right giving. I do know people who have overgiven because their ego is managing their giving. And so they're like, okay, I really want to get more. So they're giving from a place of, I'm giving this to you, and my surface mind is saying, because then it's going to return to me, but my subconscious is saying, but no, it won't. And if the subconscious, no, it won't, is grander than it's going to return to me because I'm carrying it in an airy-fairy vibration, we're not airy-fairy people. We're airy-gritty. Yes. We mean that we take the idea that might seem airy-fairy to some people, and we ground it. We ground it in our bones, we ground it, and we allow it to be real. The real reality manifest real through you is what we're seeking to experience. So as I participate from capital C consciousness, how am I going to move forward? We want to remember and heed that passage from Scripture that says, enter through the narrow gate. For the wide gate is broad and will lead you to destruction. For the small gate and the narrow way leads to life. What does that mean? It means that when you go out into the world and you're going to be tempted by all kinds of baubles and thises and that's and whatever's going on and the shiny things over here, that's the broad, wide gate. You've walked into this playground called Earth, and there's all kinds of things to look at. But what is yours to look at is the narrow gate. That doesn't mean you don't see all of this. It doesn't mean you ignore all of this. It means you stay on point and on purpose with your soul. So the narrow gate and the narrow path is where we follow so that we can stay on point and not get distracted. We want to make sure that you don't do the thing where, oh my God, I remember once I got up in the morning and I was going to take out the trash, and as I was going over to take out the trash, I saw some mail on the thing, and so I picked up the trash bag, and I was like, oh, I better take care of this too. And then as I was walking out, I just thought, oh, and there's some glasses that need to go in the dishwasher, and I was like, oh shoot, and I put that down, and then the trash spilled all over, and then I opened the dishwasher and put the glass in the dishwasher, and I was getting distracted by all these things. To stay on purpose and on point is, what were you doing? And if you're taking out the trash, take out the trash. And make sure you're mulching and recycling. And all of that good stuff. But stay on point. And on point from the spiritual perspective is to make sure that you follow your soul. You're attuning to the call of your soul, where even in the greatest of calamities, you are centered. Every spiritual master who has ever walked this earth, anybody who's ever avoided a catastrophe in a world event, the person in the tsunami who all of a sudden they just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Right place and the right time kind of supposes that there's some randomness to it. You will put yourself in the right place, in the right time, by cultivating your consciousness and saying, yes, I'm going to read books that inspire. I'm going to watch programs and movies that inspire. I'm going to hang out with people with high conversation. I'm going to have high conversation with myself, and I'm going to back in, call forward, listen, intend, surrender, and share my bliss. That's what we're going to say yes to. A grateful mind, as it said in the reading, eventually attracts great things. So as we move into gratitude, which is the great attractor, because it's going, oh my God, yes, the universe is all giving and all loving and all knowing and all powerful through and as my life. And I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for those who have been kind in my life. I'm so grateful, again, form, following, intention, and consciousness. And so I'm putting that in there. And in the giving part, it's kind of like you're bringing your house together. Because now you're trusting, and I can give in a consciousness of circulation that allows me to understand what it means that it shall return to you tenfold. I started playing with that. And as I started to play with it, and I started playing with circulation, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to bust out all my rules. Do I have any rules? What are my rules? Let me bust them apart. Do I have rules about homeless or this or that? And I'm going to say, now I'm going to be present. This is an exercise in consciousness. And so when somebody comes up to me, and then all of a sudden, I remember the first time I was like, the reason I have my rule wasn't so much because I was trying to be fair, wasn't so much because I was trying to, not encourage them to do nefarious things. It was because I felt uncomfortable in front of someone who had nothing, and it touched on something within me that felt like I could be that. And technically, if it's before you, because we're all one, you are that. You are that. If you take on the feeling tone that you imagine, you're just imagining what this person is experiencing, that comes from your subconscious, then you take on that feeling tone and it's like, that's what needs to be healed. That's what's going to rise up. And whether you give or you don't give. So I had some clients. One of them had registered to take a class. It was a series of 3 certifications, and it was about $600. And she said, would it be okay if I do it in installments? Now, normally, the rule was you pay for it all in full up ahead. And I said, sure, no problem. You can pay for it in installments. And so she said, okay, and I'm going to pay you 30 days after. I'm going to pay you 1/3 here, 1/3 30 days, and then 60 days later. And I was like, okay, sounds like a good deal. And then 30 days passed, no payment. 60 days passed, no payment. 90 days, a year passes, no payment. In the beginning, she would check in and say, and so what I did during the whole process was I kept checking in. I'm like, am I to forgive this, or am I to allow this to come to fruition? And so I let go of the situation, and eventually it took 3 years, and she dissipated out of communication after about a year. But 3 years later, because I never let go of it, I just said, I trust and know, and I would check in. Anytime it caught into my awareness, I would just check in. Am I to forgive this? Now, at the same time, there was a client of mine that was going through a hard time. And he said, oh, can I just pay you a fraction? I just pay you on a scale and just pay whatever I can. And I said, sure. And then there was a couple times where he missed payments. And I checked in and I'm like, am I to forgive this? Yes, you are to forgive this. Just let it be. Exonerate him from any attachment to this. And then all of a sudden, 3 years later, in both situations, the woman who had not paid, all of a sudden she paid. She had come into a big payday in real estate and all this stuff. She not only paid off what she owed, but she started taking care of a whole bunch of other things with me. And then the guy who I just thought, in my mind, I thought, I'm forgiving him this thing. He went off, and it was 3 years later, he came into something, and he said, I was so grateful that you did no strings attached, and he just wrote me a big check for the time that we spent together. You never know how things are going to work. As long as you capitulate to the flow of the energy and, do I forgive? Do I not forgive? You kind of become conscious and feel it. Your heart will always let you know. Then you are participating in the energy of life, of your soul, of creation. You're making sure that you're aligning with right thanks and right giving. So right thanks makes sure that I align with really calling forward authentic gratitude. And right giving means that I'm not just giving out of some rote idea because somebody told me to do it or because I have rules. It means I'm willing to take all of my rule book, which is predicated on my subconscious, and I'm ready to I'll just look at them and see what rules do I have in here? So we're all in agreement that we're going to say, yes, I will be alive and alert to the call of my soul and allow fresh, inspired ideas to guide, direct, uplift, and connect me all the time. Yes?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we're going to get a little jump start. I'm just going to invite you to repeat after me. I am grateful for all the wellness that supports my life.
I am grateful for all the wellness that supports my life.
I am grateful for infinite supply of goodness in my life.
I am grateful for infinite supply of goodness in my life.
I am grateful for the pull into greatness in my life.
I am grateful for the pull into greatness in my life.
I am grateful for the all-loving,
I am grateful for the all-loving,
all-giving presence of God,
all-giving presence of God,
as my life.
as my life.
So all of those evocations, I'm going to call them. An evocation is when you call something forward. Gratitude calls something forward. When you say I'm grateful for the wellness that supports my life, that phrase right now, doesn't matter if you've got a hangnail, or if you've got something, a diagnosis, a sniffle, whatever it is, there is a majority of wellness in your life right now. So you're not pretending that I've got a cold, I've got the flu, got whatever, and I'm just pretending I'm well. If you weren't well enough, you would not be here. Right. So you want to go, it's like, I'm anchoring into what is actually true. What is actually true is wellness is undergirding me. And even though part of me is experiencing something that is called illness, I'm going to focus on the wellness. And the same for the supply of goodness. There's a supply of goodness. If you only have $10 in your bank account, you have $10 in your bank account. You want to focus on the goodness that is the supply. The supply of everything comes from the divine. So we're going to root in that, anchor in that, and we're going to go into prayer. And I'm just going to invite you to join me as, we open our hearts, our bodies, our emotions, our minds to gratitude. Oh, so grateful to know there is an omniamorous presence back of all life that only gives and never withholds. We call that presence God. We call it life. We call it the universe. We open to its magnificence and our unity with it, our oneness as it. Each and every one of us, formed and fashioned in the image and likeness of infinite brilliance. We are one with the one. All that God is, I am. All that God has, I have. I am one with the energy of creation. There is no separation in my beingness. There is oneness and wholeness. And I am truly grateful, and I am allowing myself to participate in circulation, in holy giving, right giving. How grateful I am to know that each and every one of us has everything we need to feel, see, hear, know, understand, perceive presence, the truth that sets us free. We take this moment in deep gratitude and thanksgiving, knowing there's a divine idea of our lives, and we say, yes, I shall hear with my divine ears, see with my divine eyes, and know with my divine mind. Divine right perception is mine right now. I always perceive the truth every moment of every day. And it is from a place of deep thanksgiving, thanks and giving, that I circulate and grow, ever expanding good in my own life now. And as I do so individually, I do so collectively. If my wife, my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my colleague, my best friend is near me as I rise, they rise. There's an infection, contagion of good as I grow and glow in the divine. How grateful I am for this and so much more. We hold into this, we allow it to integrate and expand, whirl and swirl in our bones and beingness, in our emotions and minds, and we simply accept it by saying, and so I let it be. And so it is. Amen. 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 Ashe. Aho. Shalom. Mahalo. Hotep. And hallelujah. All right. It is time for our conscious giving. And so the ushers are going to come forward, our beautiful, brilliant volunteers. And they are the ones that have the baskets. And as we prepare our offering, our donation, our investment, our tithe, these are the ways on the screen right there. You can text to give, you can mail a check, you can Venmo, you can visit SoulCenterOC.com, you can use the QR code. Or, as our beautiful angels here, they're going to go forward. And as they go forward and circulate the baskets for cash or checks, and for those of you at home, you should have all this information on your screen. I'm just going to invite Sheila Nichols back. You can...
Here I am.
first time, we normally do this at the beginning of the service. But we're keeping you on your toes today. If you're here for the very first time, and if you're a love streamer streaming for the very first time, I'm just going to invite you to stand up as we bestow a blessing upon you. Don't worry, it won't hurt, it won't bite. The rules are, just receive being blessed. Open your heart, open your body, open everything. Just receive being loved. And we're going to extend our heart and our prayers through our hands, and we're going to say this to you. Welcome to SoulCenter. We know who you truly are. You are a divine emanation of brilliance, beauty, love, and dynamic magnificence. We are grateful for you. We thank God for you. Welcome to SoulCenter. You can now be seated at home. And we're going to have the ushers come forward, and we're just going to do another blessing. Now that you've been blessed, you can participate in the blessing. We're going to extend our heart and our hands, and we're just going to, I'll do the blessing. You just extend your heart and your hands. Oh, we take a moment in deep gratitude, knowing something wonderful has taken place, that we have all said yes to deeper thanks and deeper giving and deeper knowing that wherever I am, God is. Good is, I am a divine emanation of infinite glory, one with the one. Oh, we take a moment and we know the universe only blesses. We bless this offering. We bless everybody streaming in live, all of you here, that all of us have said, yes, I shall receive my blessings, circulate my blessings, and expand my blessings. We bless this offering knowing all needs met individually and collectively in our community and in the world. We simply let it be by saying, Amen. All right, ushers, thank you. And the children's community is going to come on in.
Kids Village, and today we talked about, our theme was I am somebody. Yeah, so Benson wanted to show his art, and Phoebe was going to share something in the microphone.
You are somebody.
Maddie's going to read a poem she wrote.
As I allow my spirit to take flight in life, I will also make sure to lift others up as well.
So we're all a part of God, but we're all a unique somebody with so many gifts to give. And ask the kids about what gifts they're going to give this week. All right? Now it's time for our peace song.
Please rise. The words are going to come up on the screens if you want to sing along. They're in your program.
Each other in perfect
the divine energies, to rise up from within us, to wash over us, knowing there is one power, one presence, one goodness, one glory. It indwells within us. Each of us knowing we are born from the holy light of infinite magnificence with every gift, every ability, every talent, everything we need to thrive. We allow ourselves to thrive now. Something wonderful is compelling and propelling us into a greater glory. We simply allow it to be. Benevolently, gloriously, dynamically, immediately, efficiently, and immaculately by saying, and so it is. Amen. All right, we'll see you tomorrow on the Daily Affirmative Prayer Call, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Thank you.